Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of the G&A Podcast. I am the next priestess to be offered up to the goddess of fertility, Druidu.
And I'm that guy who you shouldn't follow down to the torture dungeon, Sobroni.
And welcome back to the G&A Podcast. So we talk about all things anime, the good, the bad, and the whib. How you doing tonight, Oni?
I'm there. I'm here.
I'm also here. I am also here. Yes, as you can tell, me... You guys can tell how my health is from the fact that I took a powder as soon as we finished the prologue. So I'm just like, ooh, it's been fun.
Mm-hmm.
But we are here actually to have fun and here to talk about anime and here to just entertain y'all guys and make sure you guys have fun. So if you have fun, make sure you hit that like button. Oh, I'd really appreciate it.
Yes, please.
And with that being said, let's get into our new segment, This Week in Anime. We're in the spirit of us just being here. We have one piece of news which we feel like we have a lot to talk about.
Yes, it's a biggie.
Yep, according to Anime News Network, Fate Grand Order developer Delight Works posts an 81 drop in profit.
Yes.
So this year they reported a profit of approximately 1.3 billion yen last year, and this year they made 6.9 billion yen around this time. So yeah, that's a huge
hit your money.
That is I'm like, what the French toast.
So I do have a few things I have to say.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Before we start, I think I confused it. They made 1.3 this year, and they made 6.9 last year. I think I switched up the two.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I just caught that. I was like, wait, one of these values is higher than the other. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, and in the US, that's what 67 million last year and 12 million this year.
Yes.
So I have a lot to say about this. So it's kind of like, all right, in one hand, that's not surprising at all, because like I've been saying for the whole year, this year in FGO for JP has been like
barren.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing the year, because obviously the virus has like put a big halt to most of the projects they were working on. So we had like a stretch of like 5 months where nothing happened. So of course that impacted their money.
Yeah.
The other thing though to keep in mind is that I feel like it's a bit like because I see a lot of people like going crazy about it, like, oh my god, FGO is gonna run out of money, and people are. I don't think that
run out of money. They made 12 million this year. Run out of money where? Do you not know how much money 12 million is?
I think the important thing to keep in mind is like we need to see the revenue, because profit's a bit misleading. Like you could just like you could have less revenue, or you could have like a lot more costs that like offset any kind. So for all we know, the revenue probably dropped like 12%, but then they have like 60% more costs because of all the shit they had to do. So I think that applies to it. Like for example, I know Delightworks is starting a new game or something. Like they're working on a new game, I think. So that probably has something to do with it. They probably put a lot of money into investing in that. So there's other factors. I don't think it's just like, well, FGO is done, but it is a bit discerning.
And it's funny that you say that, because it says the bottom paragraph. It just says that it is
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, it is developing a smartphone game with Sega. Well, it was, but in July, the alliance has been dissolved. So that is not happening anymore. Probably also because of that special C word. So yeah, that's sounds like it's not shocking.
It is.
But at the same time, I can't imagine that they're in the red in any sense of the word. I'd be shocked. They
Yeah,
make
no,
so
they're
much
definitely
money.
that. They're
They make
definitely
so much
super rich
super.
still.
Yeah, they're super rich. Don't worry, guys. So even if they did not make this much money last year, if they made the same amount of money this year they made last year, they'd be fine. Like
Pretty
I'm
much.
actually shocked they made this much money last year. I am, but I'm not.
I do hope that this makes them like, because the one thing I've been upset about this year with FGO has been this over focus on arcade and arcade getting all these exclusives and shit.
Mm.
So I hope that at the very least they look at the drop in profit and are like, hey, maybe we should start, paying attention to the mobile game that makes us all the money, and like start giving them more exclusives and more content, which they have been better about. Like we've gotten a bunch of new events these past couple of months, but I don't know. I feel I'm still jaded about the. Call me salty. I'm still jaded about the Proto Merlin shit.
Yeah. Then that is fair because it's like, wow, I'm like, I get it. It's a Japanese game from Japan, so of course it's gonna be like Japan centric. But at the same time,
Oh, it's not even an FGO NAJP thing. It's an arcade JP thing.
It's no. I'm saying it still applies because the only people who get to play that are people who are in Japan, regardless if you play NA or JP.
Yeah, people in Japan who want to brave the pandemic to get to the arcade to play Proto Merlin, which is the other.
Yeah, wait. She did come out in the middle of the pandemic, which is crazy.
Which is why they're doing, because they're like, oh, arcade things money is dropping because pandemic, so let's release all this exclusive content to get people to come to the arcade. Like pandemic. I get it. But
I mean, to be fair, I think their numbers, because they're not US, their numbers were like doing really well at that point. Yeah, like summer was around the time where like all the countries were like, oh yeah, we're kind of like bouncing back. We're kind of getting
it was
better.
like before the second or third wave. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I just hope they pay more attention to JP and NA.
Same. I hope they do too. I hope in NA they're not just gonna be like, okay, well, time for you guys to also just have.
Oh yeah, they got to fix that too. NA is gonna have a big problem. If they literally just don't put out any content for like 5 months because of they're trying to copy JP's model.
I will be more than happy to just focus on anything else. I'm like, yes, that is less money I have to spend and more money I can spend on Genshin Impact. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, when Genshin releases a gacha once every 5 months.
Oh God, because the way it's like, on one hand, I'm looking at I'm looking at Mothman, and then the other way, I'm looking at Zhongli.
Is Zhongli even coming out this month?
He should be. No, he's coming out the first.
Because don't they also have to? There's like a bunch of characters that they keep hyping up, and I'm like, who's coming out next? Because you got the goat girl who's supposed to come out, and we have Ayaka who's also supposed to come out.
I think they're all on the same banner.
I think. That's gonna be messy because I think they're all 5 stars.
No, Guitar Girl is definitely.
No, not the Guitar Girl, the Goat Girl. God you.
Okay, so maybe not because they don't usually release 5 stars.
And Ayako, I think, is also a 5-star.
And like, which one is her again?
She's like an ice chick or something. She was like in the beta. I don't know if she appeared in the story yet, but she was supposed to come out early on. So, and you also have the Adepti water dude that's like part of the story.
Oh, child, what about him?
No, not him. The guy whose name starts with an X or whatever. It's like a dragon dude.
Dragon? Oh, you're not talking about Water Twink, are you?
No, is he already in the game? The dude who was like one of the Adepti that's hangs out at the inn, and he has like a sword. No, it's not him because he's not in the game yet. He's also, or is a spear. I think it's a spear.
I think I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of characters just floating around that are supposed to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters there. I'm just like, it's like, please, please.
Yeah.
So yeah, um, yeah, and it's like I said, NA is in trouble because people will just easily go elsewhere. Like,
Yeah, I hope
there's
they figure
enough.
out something.
Like, NA is fighting for my attention right now, and it's losing. I was playing Genshin for most of today. Well, not most of today, but enough of today.
Hey, at least we have Lost Belt 3 coming out. I don't think NA is in that much trouble. They're doing their own
It's
thing.
no, not now. I'm just saying in the future, like they will be. But yeah, so that. I hope they work on themselves. Get together, FGO. Thank you. And also sponsor us. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, after you just told them that. Yeah,
I mean, listen, we can help the sales. I'm just saying, look at all this charisma and personality. I don't know why you laughed at that. Like,
after your tirade against them, they'll definitely want your charisma and personality.
And I can use it any way I want. Let me be your weapon, FGO. All right. So with that being said, let us move on to the weekly reviews, starting with Golden Kamui, season 3, episode 7.
Yes, this episode.
So I can't tell if this was like because I was just really tired of shit when I was watching this, but for once in my life, this felt kind of fillery. Like a little bit on the filler side. Like they had some important things.
Yeah, there was some important stuff, but it all happened like all the way at the end, and like the first like 75% of this was like
we're in a snowstorm.
Yeah, we're in a snowstorm, and there's.
I mean, I like that. I like the tension because like, oh my god, shit's happening. Da, 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 da. But then it kind of just got resolved.
Yeah, I think that was my biggest problem. I was hoping that they would focus on them like struggling to survive in the snowstorm or something. I feel like that would have been a much more interesting episode because like the first 5 minutes or so when they're actually in the snowstorm, that was tense. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was very tense.
And then they just like, oh, never mind. There's a lighthouse. And then the rest of the episode, until the very end, was just like, we chilling in this lighthouse.
Chilling in this lighthouse. Let me tell you about my daughter, Svetlana. Yeah. And we can all understand each other.
Well, they do have a translator.
But who never spoke, but alright. Like, he translated one thing, and then for the rest of it, I think you're just supposed to assume.
Just assume he has to.
It was all, just assume it was all translated. Which, I mean, I guess it's fine. I start introducing new characters. Miss Sophia, the head of the terrorists.
He was actually a really interesting character. I like that she's so like over the top and shit.
I mean, I'm kind of happy. Well, I feel like it was a little too convenient that her and Svetlana were like in the same room.
Oh well, yeah, that's a bit over. That's a bit. At first, I thought they were gonna say Svetlana was the leader of the terrorists.
Yeah, like the fact that they're both in the same room, I'm like, really. Not even. It was bad enough that they're in the same prison, but they're in the same room. That's it.
Yeah, they like know each other or whatever. They're like roommates. But
I'm like, all right.
I mean, the episode did have its funny little quirky moments, like when this dude's hand got stuck to the hammer.
So he's like, yeah, someone go pee on him, and he's like, I'll do it. And he did like this weird thing where it just shows him like running off in the sunset or something. Like,
yeah, they had their little moments. I like that they did the metaphor. They're doing a lot of metaphor stuff with like
mountain cat. And I'm just like, all right, we get it. Ogata is awful.
They're not very subtle at all.
Yes, and mountain cats apparently suck. Like, yeah. There's a lot of talking. Usually I'm not the one who complains or wants a lot of action usually, but I feel like we could have used a little bit more this episode.
I just wanted something to happen. Like there needed to be more actually going on in the episode. Like I said, if they had stuck with the winter blizzard thing for the whole episode, or at least for most of it, I think it would have been better.
Yeah.
It was just the middle part of this episode was just so bland.
Yeah, well, bland, especially bland for Kamui.
Mm-hmm. Especially because they don't have much. I don't think it was like a 12 episode. Yeah, 12 episodes. They don't have much time to start, getting things going.
Oh, there's only a part 2 happening.
Yeah, they're gonna break into the prison and everything, but
yeah,
I'm hoping the season doesn't end with them still chasing each other. Like I hope at some point there's a confrontation between Sugimoto and the other team with Aeslipa and them. Like I don't want this to just be like an endless goose chase, and then we just gotta wait for season 4.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to happen though. I feel like it's moving in that direction.
Probably. That sucks though.
Yeah.
I want a showdown.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I would like them to be. It's like I just really like Asirpa and Sugimoto together, and I don't. I'm like they're. Everyone else is still like carrying in terms of like them being funny and quirky and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like, man, it's just I miss them together. I just miss them together.
Same.
Like it's really starting to like wear at me.
And even the other dude, the stupid guy, the comic relief dude, I forget his name.
Oh, Shiraishi?
Yeah. Like they were such a good trio.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to come back and soon, please.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If that is all we have to say about that, then let us move on to Tonikaku Kawaii episode 8.
Finally meet the parents.
And yes, it was literally everything I just needed. Thank you. Tonikaku Kawaii.
Mm-hmm.
This was like it was almost Senshima episode of the week.
Really? Ooh.
It was very close. Only because I just enjoyed it. I watched it twice. One time I watched it, I was high, so but there are moments even in my high stupor. I was like, wait, these moments are funny. I need to watch this. And then I watched it today, and I was like, wow, this is a really good episode.
Yeah, there was I think it did a good job of being like cute and funny, but also having like actual character development moments, like that moment at the end with the father giving his thanks to her for saving his son's life and everything. That hit hard.
Yes, and finally, episode 8, they're now like hitting you over the head with the she's not like other people.
I mean, they've been hitting me over the head.
I mean, they haven't, but now they just all but said it.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh yeah, this thing that was. Oh yeah, why don't you like history? I'm like, whoa, what do you mean? I was there. What? Nothing. Like,
yeah.
I was like, hello.
At this point, it's not even. It's not. Yeah, they're not even trying to like hint at it. They're just like flat out saying it. I found it cute. The little sleepover scene where he had her rest on her on his hand and everything. Like I like these little cute couple moments that they have because they're so relatable.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, him sleeping on the arm. I was like, yes, I know that better. I feel like multiple men were just like, yes, we.
Oh yeah, and that is incredibly uncomfortable.
It is so uncomfortable. It's like, damn, this looks really cute, but also my arm is in pain.
Not worth.
Yeah, it's not worth, not at all. I'm like, yes, on the chest, not on the arm.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of. I love how Nasa just like he still had that mentality where he's just like very like, oh my god, mom and dad, you're so embarrassing. Like,
yeah, although his parents were kind of low-key embarrassing. Like his mom especially was a bit awkward. Her
she was so awkward.
Her with the subtle like, listen, don't be too loud.
Hey, these soundproofing's like okay, but I wouldn't put my life on it.
Yeah, we're right next to you guys.
Right next to y'all. Keep it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was also the twist ending. I like the foreshadowing into that ending with their house being burned down.
Oh, how so? Wait.
They foreshadowed it earlier in the episode where he was like talking with Tsukasa about like, oh yes, I'm very secure. I keep 2 sets of keys and blah blah blah. He's like, even if my house burned down,
in the house of that. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, and then also when she's just like another dust flag when she was like, "Oh yeah, this is great and all, but our little space—that's where I truly feel like home."
Yeah, they like hinted at it a couple of times.
Damn.
So that was nice foreshadowing and nice storytelling.
It was, but I love. Oh my god, I love the part where like she's Tsukasa talking to the dad, and she's like, when they're having a bonding moment, she's like, "Wow, I would find it funny if someone was like seriously studying my love letter," and he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Hey, my husband."
Yeah. I honestly, I'm kind of mad that they're not going to be.
At least
I find it sad that they're not going to be in the I guess in future episodes if they're already going back home.
Yeah, that is kind of upsetting because it's like they're really fun characters.
Yeah, they were. Maybe they'll just show up. I don't know. This show is crazy enough for them to just show up randomly.
Yeah, definitely agreed. Maybe they move back into the.
Ooh, that's possible too.
I probably not because they need the rest of the side characters there, but one can dream.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, let's move on to DanMachi, season 3, episode 8.
This is my episode of the week.
Mm.
Oh, come on. This was such a good episode.
It was. It was, but there was one glaring thing.
Okay, go with your glaring thing first. What's the glaring weakness of this episode?
Glaring weakness is the whole retcon, like, at the end.
No, I don't care about the retcon, because they built it up so well, and they already foreshadowed that this woman can revive people and shit, so I don't mind retconning things so long as, like...
it's a monster, and it's, like, it would have actually been way more impactful if she just died. But I forgot, this is a good anime, not a great one, so...
Listen, alright, hater.
I'm
Hater.
Listen, that's how I feel. Good anime...
I think it's fine.
Great anime will make an anime.
Clannad retconned itself, by the way.
Okay, but they did like a billion other things.
Exactly. I think it matters.
That we're not retconning. They could at least retcon one thing for me. Okay, my heart don't take literally so much.
I think it's fine because they already set it up that this woman can revive people, but also, like, I didn't need Rini to die. I'm just gonna call it Rini.
I certainly didn't need her.
I didn't need her to die because, like, her whole purpose was just to, like, be the force that makes Belle, like, challenge the norm in society.
Exactly, and that's all she was used for. She could have died, and that would have been more lasting impression. That's why that.
Listen, just because you want your grimdark, like, everyone needs to die.
Just like. Just like, I don't know. It just feel like this anime just doesn't really show much for like.
Well, there are consequences. Like, if there were no consequences, I'd agree with you. But there are consequences. Like there will be next week. Yeah, the whole city's gonna be like, Belle, Nani the fuck did you just attack all of us and stop us from killing a monster? So like, if they had like revived Weenie. And then everyone came out in eyes, and then we're like, well, Belle, you did the right thing. We're all proud of you. Then I'd be like, okay, that was kind of stupid. But they revived her, and now she's off to do her own thing. And Belle has to deal with, like, all the, like, fallback from his actions. So I'm like, all right, as long as they keep the fact that he has to deal with the consequences of his actions, I don't care whether Weenie lives or dies.
I'll leave my judgment for next week's episode.
I'm sure.
Honestly.
Aside from that, though.
Yeah, but aside from that, yeah, like as Oni says, it's a very good episode. The action was pretty good. Of course, Lily would rather let Belle die. just to protect Hestia's family.
Yeah, she had a point.
She said, "No, let's not all chase after him or join the fight in any way, shape, or form. It all reflects bad on us. Let's just leave this young man to possibly get killed. The man I love so much."
She trusts him.
Oh, really? Because another thing. When Fel, that's the name of the skeleton person, right? Fel. When Fel was like, give a whole speech about like, Bell, you're the reason, you did it, I'm like, Bell did nothing.
He protected.
Bell basically did nothing.
He
like,
protected
Bell did so little. Like in retrospect, in that whole from the moment they started fighting, he did so. Either he had immense amount of help, or he basically did nothing. Like you basically say no, everyone was basically subjugated, who needs to be subjugated by the Loki family. We let Ween die.
He tried to save her.
Beat Dix with with the help of anime on your side with plot armor and a help of a lizard man who knows how to fight. Like I'm like, damn, Bell actually did do nothing.
He did a lot. He helped protect the monsters. I don't know what more you want from him. But that's what I like. Bell is not Kirito. He's not come out here and like, I'm gonna save everyone and save society and use my godlike powers to, like, he just does a bunch of like little small things that help, and everyone else plays more of a role, which I'm fine with. That's just his thing. He had his moment. His moment was fighting what's his face in the underground chamber. That was his.
Say that again.
His big moment was just fighting what's his face in the underground chamber.
So getting his ass beat by Dix, got it.
Well, like, stopping him and pushing him back, and so
pushing him back with the help of Lid.
Yeah, so they're allies. They can help each other. Listen, yeah. we're not all Ai. If you want somebody to solo everything, go rewatch Ai's anime.
I'm good. I'm good on that, love. Man, it was just really funny because Fel really was like, I don't know, sucking Fel's dick out of nowhere. Like, you did it. I'm so proud of you. I'm like, but okay.
Technically, he helped the most of anyone.
In this episode, he did nothing. He super did nothing this episode. All he did was such a Bell hater. All he did was blow up a bunch of people, blow up and hurt a bunch of random people trying to protect their city for them.
Listen, leave your hate comments for Drew. This was clearly the best episode. I will say
it still was. I'm just saying. Phil saying all that was out of pocket, but
I will say the funniest thing for me was after Weenie gets speared, and then the dude is like half dead, and he's like gloating, like, "I did it, Dix, I killed." And then he just gets stomped by the gargoyle thing. But there was like no transition frame or anything. So it was just like one frame he was there, and then the other frame the gargoyles on top of him. It was just blood everywhere.
That was horribly animated.
It was so horrible, but it was hilarious.
It was funny. It was funny because it looked so bad.
It was bad.
It looked like a YouTube video.
It did. It looked like stop motion, like those flip page things.
Exactly.
Bad.
that was actually so nice. I would see how I'm trying to bring up anything.
No, I give him points for that. I assume that was on purpose for hilarious effect.
Okay, sure.
I love the intro song or the middle song that was playing during Weenie's revival. That was good too. Another reason why I don't mind the revival, because it came with a kick-ass song.
I like the fight between the Minotaur and the rest of the Loki Familia. Probably my favorite part.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to finally. For some reason, they only give the well animated fights to whenever they're fighting Minotaurs. That's it. The Minotaurs get all the well animated fights. Everyone else can fuck off.
Yeah, that's actually true.
So, yeah, I think overall it was good. I think next week is probably just going to be like everyone hating. I will be upset if they all just forgive Belle and they're like, whatever, Belle was just doing the right thing. I do want there to be actual consequences for his actions.
Same.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I am as well. So let's move on to Kami-sama episode 7. Oh, Kami-sama ni Natta Hi episode 7. Excuse me. So basically it's another Sora filming episode. This time they have the whole crew. Which I love that they're like being very like transparent about it. That they're just like, haha, all of you are just gonna randomly show up for me.
Yeah, I like that they keep bringing up the doom plot of like the world ending in 7 days. Like that was literally one of the first lines of the episode where Hina just walks in and is like, I have good news and bad news. Bad news, world's still ending in 7 days. But good news is, this episode's not about that. This episode's about a movie.
Exactly.
So they like keep like hanging this over our heads, like, guys, it's really gonna suck in 3 or 4 more episodes from now. But for now, don't worry about that. So like, I'm waiting for like the bomb to drop. But it feels like I can't really enjoy these episodes because I'm just waiting for tragedy to strike at every second. So I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
Oh, I'm having a good old time.
I mean, this episode's fun, but
yeah, it was.
I'm waiting for the impeding doom.
Yeah, me too. Because it's just like, wow, this is episode 7. Like, happening. Like, like it's gonna just, episode 10 or 9 or 10 is gonna be like, oh, and sad. Well, maybe not, because at the end of this episode,
yeah, we got that little twist.
Yeah, the hacker dude found Hina.
I'm thinking he's not gonna actually make contact with her until like the end of next episode, and then like maybe 9 and onward are gonna be like really tragic.
Yeah, I feel something like
I hope
that.
we have at least one more fun episode left in us, because I really do like this show when it's being fun.
Yeah, it was yeah, it has some pretty funny moments. Odin, failing horribly at CGI.
That was great. Her failing horribly with the eggs was great.
Her not singing.
Yeah, her not singing.
They're like, oh my god, please stop.
Seeing the celebrity girl as her Tenjo just randomly always appear and start shit with people was great.
Yeah, specifically with Tina. Always.
What kind of grown celebrity always picks fights with like a 12-year-old girl?
Right. Also, it was pretty fun. I think you start to see that the hacker and like the other guy that he's working with, like they definitely start having like they now have established camaraderie. Like they have a nice back and forth, which is like they're pretty entertaining. They were pretty entertaining towards the end.
They were. They're actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
They have a nice little duo going on.
No, yeah, absolutely. It has very good chemistry. Which I did not expect. I thought it was gonna be just like, oh, this guy and his flunky, but that was not. That wasn't it at all.
I do wish that. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say like when they open the scene where he's like, "Let's finish this. I can take a hot shower," and he's like, "What? In this heat? Are you crazy?" And he's like, "Look who's talking, Mister. I want to eat takoyaki."
Yeah. Yeah.
I blocked that word out of my memory
because you're still traumatized by it.
The fact that I want
it. I do wish that they would spend more time with like the sister. Like I thought there was gonna be more about her episode or whatever, but she just kind of gets like these little mini appearances and whatnot. I don't know. I just feel like she could be an interesting character. They just paid more attention to her, or even the parents. Like the father showed up for a tiny bit, and did a little bit of acting. But they're fun characters. I should pay more attention to them. Maybe they'll save them for the end of the show or something.
So regarding his sister, I feel like she's just there to be like, "Hi, I'm the Emoto that kind of has like the Gyaru thing going on, but I'm just there for him to like, you know, not obsess. That's what I'm looking for.
Fixate.
Yeah, to fixate on, kind of just like to not ogle, but like, oh, I forget what the word is. It's like a perfect word.
It seems like you're trying to go really hard on your way to not make an incesty thing.
Like it's
not,
I mean,
but you can just say he loves his sister.
It's not necessarily in like it could be used. It could, the word I'm thinking of can also be used like if he was also into her like that.
Infatuated?
No. But fuck it, whatever. Either way, he likes her.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I want to see why. Like, if they went into detail about their past or something. And I think she could be a pretty fun character, or funny character. She had her moments in like the second episode where she was pretty funny. So I don't know. Man, I guess that maybe they're saving it for like later on. Because it always relates back to the family. Is always the most tragic part of these shows.
Yeah, that's usually how it works.
So yeah,
but, yeah. It was all in all, it was a cute, fun episode. Yeah, I had fun.
That's all that matters.
But you know who did not have fun? The cast of Higurashi.
Yes.
Episode 8. Which is my episode of the week? I think it's my episode of the week.
Ooh. I mean,
it wasn't going. I mean, it wasn't going to be, but then it was because just I don't know. It's the climax of the arc. Yeah, while it was. That
was it was a pretty well done arc.
I think I was like very like, huh, because it's like, oh, he's alive at the end, quote unquote, alive at the end. But yeah, it was very interesting. How everyone, basically everyone kind of gets murdered, which isn't usually a thing that happens towards the end.
Yeah,
and if there is a survivor, it usually is not Keiichi.
Yeah, it was interesting in the sense that I don't remember as much of the original arc that this is based off of, but I feel like this one did a lot better job of like keeping it more high tension and like mysterious. Like I said in the live watch, this had a distinctly more mystery feel to it. Like it felt like something out of Umineko.
Yeah,
like the whole closed room murder type of scenario.
So I definitely kind of skipped around through the original episode. I think in the first one they just were just, I don't know, they were just being like dedicating her to the crazy. She's like, yep, I killed everybody. But then it was weird because then they just kept talking like they were like friends or they were fine. It was like a weirdly weird dynamic. This makes a whole lot more sense. Or Mion's literally just like, yes, you know, I love you, so I'm going to lock you away and like protect you. Blah blah blah. And they do touch on certain things. Like as I'm talking about it now, it's like, especially watching it in our live watch today, I'm realizing I'm like, oh, like this is a totally different one. You know, it almost makes you feel bad. I feel like Mion always gets the short end of the stick.
Yeah, that is true.
Like she really does. And this and this time it's no it's no different this time, so to speak.
This is the first time we've actually seen Mion, if it is indeed Mion, go crazy though.
Yes. Oh, so I think this is part where you can be like spoilers. I just want to get like how I felt about this episode out of the way before we started like theory crafting and deep diving.
Yeah. So there was a couple of you go first. Give your theory.
Oh well, it's not much. Well, it's not much of a theory as it is just Takano's people just kind of killed everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of killed everyone while Keiichi was trying to escape the dungeon. Like that's basically that is my plot, or that's my theory. As opposed to I thought it was gonna be Mion killing everyone, but then when uh when someone mentioned that the gun next to Mion was like a normal pistol, not a revolver, I was like, huh.
Yeah, that was a good catch. I think it was Orion who mentioned that. My theory, I'm pretty sure it's Mion. I don't think there would be any reason for them to do like the Mion Shion switch again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure it was Mion this whole time. And I don't know why Satoko was there at the end, but I'm pretty sure it involved Takano. Probably Takano bringing Satoko as like a pawn or something. Like, where's Keiichi? I'll kill Satoko if you don't tell me.
Yeah.
So
I don't think she needs to kill. She needs Keiichi to die per se.
That's the best I can think of. I'm curious.
I think she used it for Mion. I think she used it to kill Mion.
What, using Satoko as like a
that makes a lot more sense. Mion is way more important than Keiichi. Keiichi is a random nobody. Mion's the head of the crime syndicate.
True, unless for some reason she needs to kill Keiichi because he knows something. Like maybe she just wants to tie up loose ends because he knows she went. He knows she went into the thing, into the temple.
But so is everyone else.
Well, yeah, and everyone else is dying.
No, like everyone has like the whole town.
We don't know. All the people who we know directly knew about Keiichi kind of just ended up dead. So
yeah,
and talking those things. So I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm just trying to figure out why Satoko would even be there to begin with.
Yeah. I'm starting to believe. I like that theory that Takano came just and used Satoko as a bargaining chip. Killed Mion, killed Satoko, and was like, "All right, well, my job's done here.
Peace." Yeah.
Keiichi, he doesn't really. He's not really. If there's anything you guys should learn at this point, for people who are listening to these spoilers, that Keiichi is not really that important. Like in the grand spec of things, he's definitely like just an observer.
Yeah, he's meant to just be like the focus for now until later. I'm assuming. Poor Rika. Also, rest in peace to Rika. This is probably the worst death that Rika's ever had.
Septic tank. That is so disrespectful.
I hope she died before she got thrown in the septic tank.
I mean, yeah, same. I feel like she should. She should be dead by then.
I hope so. I hope she didn't die in the septic tank. That'd be pretty.
Well, because
pretty shitty if you
remember why she ends up being dead. So in each time, but
I don't think that she died from Takano this time. I think Mion just straight up killed her.
I think at first when Keiichi was like, wait, here's like this whole thing that frames Mion. So did Mion kill everyone and blah 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 blah? And I'm like, I don't think so. I think they're trying to frame it like that, but when in reality, it was indeed Takano.
I don't know. How did Takano kill her in the middle of the schoolyard?
Takano could have just killed her any which way. Like, she has
Takano
wouldn't
wouldn't just do it in like broad daylight in the middle of like it happened directly after Keiichi was talking with her, and Mion was already being all sus about like Rika, like. Fucking Rika's the head of everything, and So,
I just feel like it's like one of those things where it points to like, yes, we can just blame it on Mion going crazy, but as someone who's watched the series, you should know by now that that's not always true.
True,
That's literally true.
but
Like half the time.
I don't think it'd be in character for Takano to just randomly appear and kill Rika while they're in school.
I'm sure she may have had.
For all we know, Satoko killed Rika. This was actually Satoko's arc to be the bad one.
Yeah, so it was Satoko all along. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly feel like Takano did all this stuff. Like Takano had a lot of reasons to kill all these people.
I mean, she always does, but
she has reasons to kill all. Like I really came up with reasons for her to kill all three. Like she has, all like there's no one with a huger motive than her.
Yeah, but
and means.
I just don't think she would do it in the school in front of everybody.
Define in front, like it's just like,
and then throw her in a septic tank. Takano's more classy than that. This was like a quickie death for Rika. I feel like somebody just like shanked her and threw her in a septic tank.
Well, for all we know, we don't know that Rika was killed and thrown in a septic tank for when they were looking for her. We don't know that.
True.
She could have been held over. They did what they did to her, and they tossed her in the
and then afterwards, they threw her in the septic tank.
And then when they were done with her, they threw her in a septic
tank. I guess we'll just never know until the end of the series, where hopefully they just say
exactly. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that they're framing it as Mion potentially just did it all, I was like, I don't think she did. I actually don't think she did. I think Mion literally was trying to look out for Keiichi in her very weird way by locking her up in the sex dungeon.
Maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, that's why this is my episode of the week. At first I was like, whatever. It wasn't as like gory or bloody as like the last one, but then I'm just like, wait.
There's only a few arcs that are really
I feel like they made they made the cover up like a lot cleaner. Like I don't know. I really feel like this is Takano. I really feel like it's Takano.
On the other hand, it's too obvious to just be like it's Takano.
No, not really. I mean, not really.
I mean, if you're going into this with the assumption that it's just gonna be the same as last time, then I mean that's even more of a obviously not the case than me saying it was Mion that killed.
I mean, I'm not saying it's always gonna be Takano, but I'm saying, but see, that's not obvious because it's not always Takano. It isn't always Takano.
I mean, she's always the mastermind behind everything.
She is always the mastermind, but it's not. But Takano hasn't like gone around and taken them.
I'd probably say she probably killed Rika and Satoko in the first arc.
That is true. That is true. That is true. She's not okay. So she's like 50-50, but this time I think it's also her. But they're framing it as Mion because that's like a very easy. I don't know. I got my Umineko glasses.
Also we're overlooking one important thing, and that's that the grandmother got killed and the mayor got killed, and the only person who'd probably want to kill the grandmother and the mayor is Shion. So that's also an important piece of context. Because Shion was found in the well with Mion's grandmother and I think the mayor, who are the two people she hates. So
they were found in the well, but to that I will say, because I feel like whoever wrote this, they know that people who've seen the original have seen, this is a repeat, like of throwing people down the well. Like the same shit happened last time. I don't. That's why I'm like, I mean, I don't think they're just gonna pull a Shion, except replace it with Mion, and then just be done with it.
I don't think so either, but I think they're more entangled than what we like. I think maybe Shion killed the mayor and the grandmother, and then Mion killed her, and it was like, I need to save Keiichi. I don't know.
I think the only thing that she would indeed do is kill Shion. That's the only murder I think she is
capable of.
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe. I don't know. I still think she killed Rika. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Only because I don't want it to be Takano that kills Rika all the time. I like it when other people kill Rika.
Damn, that's cold. Yeah. But yeah, we shall see indeed until the next arc. Until the next arc.
Which is going to be the Satoko arc, so get yourself mentally prepared for that.
Yum. I love it so much. Said no one ever. Excuse me. Alright, so up next we have Strike Witches, I'm not reading this whole thing, sorry, Road to Berlin. I don't know. I'm tired. I was about to read the whole thing off any chart, and I was like, wait, what am I doing?
Well, if there was any episode that Strike Witches deserved to have its entire title read, it was this one.
Still not doing it, but yes, this is very fun.
This was almost my episode of the week too. Only because it was so like, I like when Strike Witches does absurd, stupid humor. And that was pretty much this whole episode.
Yeah, that was basically it. It was literally just like zombies. Instead of them being zombies, they got big tits. Like,
exactly. Just like, but that's also why I like Strike Witches, because nothing has to make sense. Like, the magic in their universe doesn't really have any rules. So of course you can have just like a magic doll that gives everyone big tits. Why not?
As long as it's funny, I'm cool.
Exactly.
Which it was.
Lucchini got more screen time, so I'm happy with it.
Oh, you like Lucchini?
Yeah, her and Erica are my favorites. And before you say something about them being lowlies or whatever.
Wait, which one's Erica?
The short blonde one. That was from last week. That got stuck in the
well, Lucchini, she doesn't seem that young.
She's the youngest one.
Wait, let me look up these characters. I think I'm getting them.
You're definitely probably getting confused.
Oh yeah, you definitely are into. Yeah, it's definitely the lolly angle. Never mind. I don't know.
I can't. They also both happen to have the best characters, but whatever.
Damn, they are actually really good. Yeah, they're pretty good characters. Yeah, when Lucchini just started getting possessed, and she's like, "Yes, I have big boobs, hooray!"
There was a few moments this episode that kind of like actually got me to laugh pretty hard. The scene where they're like in the room together, her Miyafuji and Line, and then Miyafuji's like, all right, let me just touch your tits, and then all the zombies come through and they like bust through the window and the door and they just grab her and pull her away. That was fucking great. And you just hear her like screaming in the background. Ah!
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I really enjoyed this one. This is like the last anime I saw before we started recording, and it really woke me up. This is over the top. And then I was gonna say how oh shit, what's the main character's name again? Miyafuji. She's just like, oh yeah, the big boobs help me unlock my magical power.
And this is why she's also a great character. You remember when you watched like the first episode or second episode and you're like, oh, I don't know why you like her so much because she's just so plain. Now you know.
Okay, so she's a plain pervert. Got it.
She is a perverted lesbian who gropes other women and has a nice ass. So what is there not to like?
She's a plain pervert. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It's gonna make me sad that I feel like that's gonna be the only one, but
the only funny episode.
Yeah. I mean, outside from the other one that we've seen, like especially the person with leukemia and was it Shirley?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was also a great one.
Yeah. No, this is definitely gonna probably be the funniest episode, and it's probably gonna go back to I think next week is like the Sonya episode, and those are also some of the least interesting ones.
Yikes.
Sorry. I like Sonya, but she doesn't really do anything.
Yeah. Well, Sonya, maybe next week you can hopefully prove Oni wrong. But until then, let us move on to our last anime for the night. Fire Force Season 2, Episode 21.
Yes.
More people dying.
Yeah, this episode was weird. It kept shifting like genres, and it was really creeping me out. Like the Giovanni in the beginning, where he was just a fucking insect monster, was creepy as fuck.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you did not appreciate that.
I was not a fan of that, especially when his little feelers came out with the hairs. I'm like, oh no! I almost just skipped past everything. I was like, no, not watching this shit. If he had grown like wings,
you're such a baby.
If he had grown like roach wings or something, I would have been out.
Such a baby. Yeah, kind of didn't well, I mean, they did explain it. The whole why he's like half bug, because he's like, these came from Adola, therefore I can make myself a bug boy. And I'm like, okay, like even then it's still kind of like,
whatever, let him do it. They need to make him more interesting somehow.
I guess he was already good. Like
he was, but he wasn't like now he's even better because he's creepy as fuck.
No, he was always creepy. Like, hello, he was never not creepy.
Yeah, but now he's even creepier.
Okay, so creepy that you can't even watch it.
Exactly.
Not even to me.
When we skip, I'm gonna have to skip that part of the next episode or whatever. So you're gonna have to do do this part by yourself.
Yeah.
I like that we got some Tamaki spotlight, kind of, sort of.
Not really.
Time. She did her thing. She like stood her ground.
Yeah, she fought like the no body infernos just for her to fight actual opponents, quote unquote fight them. By them I mean actual ass rock.
Actual comic relief opponents.
Exactly. Damn, she didn't even fight anyone like major. That's the worst part. Like the captains came out and just knocked them out in one hit.
Did you catch when the incredibly sexy guy with the fucking, he looked really cool. He had a really cool design. I'm sad that he's already dead. But the black guy.
Oh, the iron dude?
No. The one who literally just got punched by the captain and died.
Oh, I don't even remember him.
Exactly, but he looked really cool. But when he shot his fireball and he just did like a Michael Jackson, woo!
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yeah, that was great. Sad he's gone. He made the most of his screen.
He's not dead. He's not dead.
He might as well, but he ain't gonna be on the show anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. We also find out that Maki's brother is also a fire user, which I thank God. I'm happy he is, because I'm like, yeah, and he's also pretty.
He's not better than Maki.
No, absolutely not. Not even a little bit. I think all his only power is literally just like I negate fire. Like
he just like has a little force field. Shame that force field didn't come in handy when he lost his arm.
Yeah.
Guess he ain't that strong.
Guess he's not that strong. Yeah.
Maki has both her arms working.
Just saying. Just saying. Wait, when did he get his arm cut off?
Or I think his arm broken.
Yeah, his arm was broken because then he got caught in that explosion. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Why'd you use your shield?
Exactly. Why did he just use his shield? Guess it doesn't work for everything.
Guess it doesn't. You know what? You know who does work for everything? Maki. The answer's Maki. Yes, I was trying to do a cute make a cute joke about it, but I couldn't. I'm sorry. All right, I'm only human, and I'm tired. I'm tired. It's late.
But yeah, no, that was great.
Yeah.
Everything about it was just, this episode was just fun in a weird way.
Yeah. Although I will say the fight where it was a little obnoxious with Oze. I guess you just call him Oze. AKA Maki's brother. Was just fighting with Hinawa the entire time. Is that his name, Hinawa?
Yeah. Yeah. They're just going back and forth all the time.
Like, and I did like that. Hinawa was just like, hey, can we not do this now? Like, we're in the middle of a fight for our lives. Like,
yeah, that was pretty good. I like all these characters. They're so much fun. I also like that Lick came, like, he managed to, of all the people, he managed to survive his squadron being killed off and fighting his way back to the group. Like inadvertently running into
my weird running
Maki randomly in like doggy position for some reason, but whatever.
Oh my god, yeah, that sure. All the very uncomfortable dojins that are gonna be made.
I kind of like that they commit to Tamaki's fan service to this degree. Like I said before, like even when the episode is about her getting like her hero moment or her getting the shit beaten out of her, they never miss a beat with they just always have that fan service.
I just wish he did more. I just wish they literally just made a hint, like a funny, ecchi, comic relief version of Sakura from Naruto.
Yeah, who knew that this was all Sakura needed to do to make her a good character?
No, I still want to characters. That's the problem.
Also, never compare Tamaki to Sakura, please. Thank you.
Yeah, let's not.
As a Tamaki stan, I can't.
I mean, the only thing they have in common is that neither of them are actually good.
Well,
one is just comic relief. Nothing else. Super one-dimensional.
Well, I hope they give her like actual powers.
Is ...
I hope they actually give her like a training arc or something where she comes back and is like,
I
can actually fight.
Can she become Ninetales already? Can she become the Ninetales?
Yeah, she has the like just make her a Ninetales, and she's like, I have a lot of power now, and blah blah blah.
Yes.
Blah.
And then also make her naked all the time. Like, I'm fine with her being.
Yeah, that could be her power. That could be her arc, that she just embraces her lucky lecher thing, and then she like lets it make her naked, and that makes her more powerful. That's a great. See, there you go. I'm doing your writing for you, Fire Force. Everyone wins. Yes.
Something.
Good idea.
You might be onto something.
Exactly. The greatest character development arc of all time.
You are a fool. With that being said, I think we are going to end the weekly review there. And for the filler arc, so something I wanted to address. So I was going through Twitter.
That's never a good thing.
And yet I can't help myself. Whatchamacallit. So JoJo, yeah, I'm at JoJo Talks Too Much. He's an AniTuber. You know, makes very fun content. You should definitely check him out. He says, quote, it says, me being told the Jujutsu Kaisen subs made a mistake, and Fushiguro never actually specified a gender he was interested in. So, for some context, Fushiguro is one of the main characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. In this one scene, excuse me. Whatchamacallit, what happens? I had a brain fart. All right. So he encounters a senpai of his. They're in their school of technical college or whatever they go to be a Shinigami or what have you. They encounter someone who's a higher class than them. I think before they start fighting, the guy is like, "Yo, what kind of woman do you like? Guys are fine too. I don't care, but you got to tell me, what are you into?"
Mm.
And he's like, I think he answers like, as long as she. Wait, hold on. Here's a quote right now. As long as she has a moral compass that isn't easily swayed, I won't ask for more. Something like that, among those lines.
Who cares about that? Anyway, continue.
It,
Sorry, it's a really cheesy answer to give.
apparently the guy, he agrees with you because he proceeded to beat the shit out of this poor dude for no reason. So the guy who subbed this, instead of using they use the word she. The original translation is like, as long as that person has a moral compass that isn't easily swayed, I won't ask for more.
Mm.
So people, people, my people, maybe, including JoJo, he was like, "So, buddy, that was the wrong translation. That's the wrong translation." Now, the person who subbed it, I think they go by the name Koryu, Koryu _. At least that's what their name is on Twitch. They deleted the tweet now, but his initial tweet defending himself was like, "Hey, when he was saying stuff like that, a flashback came of like his sister, so I just thought he wanted to like fuck his sister." And then everyone's like, "Okay, but they said they, like in the manga they say they."
Mm.
The manga they say they. So why are you doubling down? So I don't know. It felt weird, at least to me. It felt weird that like your defense was like, no, he clearly wants to fuck his sister, even though he gave no indication of that at all. Like he has not once been like, yes, my sister. Like he's not, what's his face from Kami-sama.
Oh yeah. I forgot his name. Ready?
Where that was, Yota?
Yota.
Yeah, Yota. Yeah. So, he got like a lot of flack about it until he eventually took down the tweet. Now, I kind of like sat with this. I'm just like, you could chime in anytime, Oni.
So yeah, I mean, when it comes to translations, like I know Japanese is vague, so I can kind of see them making like the actual thing you probably said was probably just like didn't even have a subject because Japanese sentences usually like a subject and pronouns. So like I get where he's coming from in the sense that it's just probably like he defaulted just putting but
she
probably just said one word and it was supposed to be interpolated into a whole sentence or whatever because that's how Japanese works. It's like you have to understand the subject and it's very context heavy instead of like very specific with vocabulary. So I can kind of see what the mistake is.
Yes, but also keep in mind that because I'm looking at this now, and I'm just like, oh, this isn't just like a random sub who does subs, like like those subs from like 2006. This is a Crunchyroll subber.
Yeah, but
so I feel like that makes sense. It makes sense that they're held to a higher degree. Like if you work in the industry, I feel like, is that not fair that you're held to a
it is, but I don't see this as a mistake in the like you could have two different ways to translate the sentence. So I don't see it as like if it was something like super like important to the plot or something like he mistranslated the word Titan into something else or something in Attack on Titan, then I can see it. But if it's just like, oh, he put she instead of putting they,
but the thing that he gets flack for is because it was already translated in the manga as they.
But that's like the thing. Like you could translate a person could translate something small like that into different ways. So I don't know. Like they could. Does it change that much about the story or anything?
It does. It doesn't. I think where he messed up. But people always mess up when it comes to being confronted with stuff like this is that they just get defensive and they double down on it by saying stuff like, "Oh, I thought he was into his sister," and it's like,
I don't know. I can't speak to that because I haven't watched the show, so I don't know how into his sister.
I have, and I'm just like, what? Everyone's like, no, like that. I think that was the initial because that was like that's like you could just say, damn, you have a point. It could have been this way. I just interpreted it this way. Both way, like I feel like that would have been a more reasonable explanation. Like, oh, that was my bad. I just interpreted it this way because that's just how my brain works. But yeah, but you're right. It could be interpreted this way as well. And maybe I'm assuming they don't always necessarily, go to the manga, go to,
I doubt they even look at the manga's translation.
Exactly, they just literally like listen to it and sub it themselves. I don't know. Excuse me. It's just interesting, and then I think this is a more of a sensitive issue because there has been a history of like, purposefully erasing the ambiguity of it all just for the sake of heteronormativity. Just like tweaking it a bit.
Yeah, but I think that's a heavy claim to lay against a guy who may just put she instead of they. Like, I can kind of see it from his point of view, because if I like subbed an entire episode of a show and then the only thing people took away from it was like, hey, use she instead of they, I'd probably be like, fuck off. That's my translation. You know what I mean? Like the first thing I think of is not gonna be like, oh, you're right. I have to assess my inner thoughts about heteronormativity and like,
it's not even that. Like we don't have to even go that far because we could just stop. We could have just gone as far as saying when people literally showed you posting saying like, "Hey, they originally said they," and then like I think we could not go that far and just be like, "Oh, this is what they saw. This is why. This is what it was in the manga," which it's like the real actual story. And because they have that line, this anime in general seems to be definitely more queer friendly of an anime, because literally as he's asking him, he said, "What kind of woman are you into? Guys are fine as well. Like it doesn't matter if you're into men or not." So for him, like, do you understand what I'm kind of getting at?
It's also like it's like an incredibly minor thing. Like it didn't change the instance of the plot or anything.
It is, but it's like he could have just stopped. Like it became a bigger thing because he wouldn't just be like, "No, fuck you guys." I'm just like, all right. Like when I saw him like say that, I was like, "Oh, all right, girl." Like.
I mean, I guess the lesson that you get, I feel that you take away from this is just that
I think for them,
don't double down on things. Just like,
but also, can I add? It's like, yeah, it's to you, it's not a big thing, but for others, it may have been like a really cool thing to see a main character be like, "Hey, I'm interested in whomever," as opposed to "I'm interested in a woman." Like
that would have been like a really cool thing, but I don't think that's something you like need to throw the subber under the bus for. I don't think it's anything wrong that he did on his part. But that's why he got defensive, because like you're laying these heavy things on him, and he just subbed one word as she instead of they.
Okay, but when people are right, like when people,
but they're not. Like it's an ambiguous. Like Japanese is very ambiguous. The words for they and she.
But the actual like to English translation is like, I get it that it's ambiguous for like trust me, I understand. I understand. I also took the language. My point is they already translated, and in the translation they had it as like, regardless of how anyone feels, it's like these are just facts.
Well, I mean, that's just one translation. Like you could have like 3 different translations, and they would all have 3 different ways of saying one sentence.
Yeah, but it's like the official, like this is the official Crunchy, like this is the official Crunchy roll
Manga.
subber who's like watching someone putting up actual pictures from the official manga, saying, "Hey, dot dot dot," like,
but that's the thing.
like
Like, you could do that with any anime because they like. There's going to be different ways to phrase things. Like, there's no such thing as it's 1-to-1 with the manga. Like, if I could pull up a random clip of Higurashi and then pull up a random clip of the manga and they put the same scene and they have two different translations. But, like, as long as the general thing is the same, like, a translation is just an approximation. It's not like a 1-for-1 mathematic formula.
That is true, but people, people who care about the fact that he may or may not be into men or women, especially after a scene where this dude is literally about to fight him because he's like, what kind of man or woman are you into?
But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I get it, but it's like, I don't think it's something you could be like, you have to care more about the... Like I said, if I sub a whole show and just because I used she instead of they in one instance, you take away that I'm trying to, like, sabotage somebody's desire to see a more queer friendly show, or I feel like that's a big
it's
stretch.
It's not, but the point of the matter is he just acted in a sense like as if like
his actions, he probably could have acted better.
His offense being like, oh, I just thought he was into the sister, as opposed to, oh, like, it's a very simple, like, oh, I get that people feel a type of way because this could have been, for this scene, he could have been established once again as a character who's specifically ambiguous, because if they wanted to make him, straight, they could just been like, as long as the woman, like, there's a word for woman, like, it does exist, but for some reason, one reason or another, it didn't. I think people who are like, yes, we are looking here for characters who may not be straight, and then they're like, yes, here comes character who may not be straight, and then it's like, oh, but here I am saying, yes, as long as the woman, and then they're like, yeah, here's a gay character. Wait, woman.
I think you hit the nose. I think
it's not as bad as, because I like I said, it wasn't intentional. I don't think it was intentional. I think just his complete lack of empathy, like him just being like, oh, I don't care. I'm like, all right, well then get dragged. Like it's like he chose to get dragged for.
But like, I think like you hit the nail on your head when you said that it's like just like their point of view, like, because like, let's say I have a Japanese sentence and it's just like, I don't know, it's hard to make an analogy because Japanese is so fucking weird, and this is why I hate translation discussions. But like, yeah, because Japanese sentences can sometimes miss the subject and they don't have to have a predicate or whatever. But like, if he just says a word and I'm supposed to interpret that and translate that, and I'm a straight person, then yeah, my heteronormative straight mind's automatically gonna fill in the blank as she, because that's the way I think, because I'm straight.
Okay, and that is fine.
And I'm saying, and you would think they or he, or like, that's what I mean. I don't think we need to like be like policing that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, maybe he said they or he or she, but if it doesn't change the actual.
The only reason why I'm like, I personally am like, despite me saying all this, I'm like, I think he should have just shut up and been like,
yeah, he should have not said anything. He's like, whatever.
Like, he was like, whoops, my bad. Like, and he could have just left it at that instead of going the whole incest route. Like, a weirdo.
He kind of like self-sabotaged himself, so I'm not like defending that, but
so excuse me. But ultimately, this, and even for Jujutsu Kaisen, like, this anime is not like, if this was a romance anime, then we would have had a problem.
Mm-hmm.
We would, yes, then I would actually like feel a type of way, and we would probably be actually arguing about it. Because they have done it in, well, some Well, not so much in translations from like, well, at least not that I know of. I'm sure they may or may not have done it in like actual translating it from manga to anime, but I know they definitely done it from like sub to dubbed, i.e., Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura,
Yeah.
like where wow, I really like you, cousin. Sailor Neptune says to Sailor Uranus.
Yeah. Oh my god, imagine. I'm sure Jujutsu Kaisen is going to get dubbed, so curious to see what they say in the
Yeah,
dub.
they're gonna the dub. They're like, yo, I love bitches.
I love hoes. Yeah.
I love me some big titty bitches. Like with all big old fat ass.
Yeah, that's gonna be the dub. And then we have a whole other controversy.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people got the trigger because, like I said, I can't speak on from manga to anime, but I could definitely speak on from dub to sub where they've done like that.
Cousin.
And they definitely like erased queerness for.
It's funny because the Sailor Moon thing made it even like way worse. Like, this is my cousin that I am now gonna be romantically interested in.
Yeah, and even in the, I believe in the manga, like of the four guys, like in the first series, like the four guys having on the queen, I believe 2 of them were dating, but like I think in the anime, it's like, oh, like the guys kind of in a past life liked all the Sailor Scouts. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like I've heard that like multiple times. When I go to like conventions and like they talk about like, yes, let's talk about like gay shit, and then during those panels they usually eventually bring up the fact like of how the shit used to get erased. So I think well, in this case it wasn't as important because it's Jujutsu Kaisen and ultimately it's just about like fighting monsters and demons and stuff.
Right.
I think it is important to kind of make sure, just like keep the foot on the necks of
subbers.
Of subbers, because it's happened before. It can happen again. It's one. I know. I mean, it sucks that like people have to be like kind of vigilant, like kind of hold people to task for that. But if not, then the passage is gonna happen. Like then it's gonna repeat itself. And you know what? I am all about that gay shit. So yes. So subbers, especially if you work at Crunchyroll, yeah. When people are like saying, "Hey, so we're kind of feeling way about this potential gay erasure," like at least listen. Like all we ask is that people listen. Don't outright dismiss it.
Fair enough.
And I think with that, we are finally done with our filler arc. That was actually really fun.
It was. Nice little discussion. And by little, I mean super long, but nice discussion.
Yes.
Can I take us away?
Yes, please do.
Guys, if you enjoyed this episode of the G&A Podcast, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you can catch up with us as we put up episodes every single week. Also, if you haven't already, do follow us on Twitch, follow us on Twitter, and follow us on Discord, all linked in the description down below. If you want, you can even become a patron like all these lovely people on screen right now and get yourself a bunch of cool benefits like access to our members only channel on Discord, and you'll be a part of the live watches we do on Sundays. This season we're watching Higurashi, so if that sounds interesting to you, please do consider becoming a patron or a member. Drew, do you have anything you'd like to say?
I really want to play Hyrule Warriors, but like, I feel like I already have too much on my plate. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
but yeah, is it good?
It is really, really good. I feel like you would need to play Breath of the Wild to truly appreciate it, though.
Okay, and I did not. So never mind. Never mind.
With that said, until next time, this has been Soberoni, and
Dooby doo.
we'll catch you guys later. Later.
Bye.